Welcome to ThinkTech on OC16, Hawaii's weekly newscast on things that matter to tech and to Hawaii. I'm Chris Leatham.
And I'm Noe Au.
In our show this time, we'll cover the 2015 Hawaii Bicycling League's Honolulu Century Ride on Sunday, September 27th. The ride began at the ungodly hour of 6:15 a.m. at the Kapiolani Park near the bandstand on Kalakaua Avenue.
The Century Ride was fully supported with aid stations along the way, with mechanical help, and with HPD presence all along the route.
Century means 100, and of course that's 100 miles, which is a long drive, much less a long bike ride. But those who were daunted by the distance could choose to ride 25, 50, or 75 miles. Looking for something shorter? Choose 18 miles for the Ono Fun Ride. You could choose your own distance. Everybody's an athlete and everybody wins.
The Honolulu Century Ride is Hawaii's oldest and largest cycling event. The Honolulu Century Ride annually attracts thousands of riders from around the world and is truly an international event.
The biggest problem facing most cyclists is bike fit. Nearly all cyclists need some sort of adjustment to their bikes in order to achieve maximum performance.
An improperly fit bike can cause a painful or uncomfortable riding experience or even an injury. If your knees hurt, chances are you are riding an improperly adjusted bike. Cyclists were urged to take their bikes into their local bike store to have them professionally fitted.
As to the starting order, riders started in groups with similar riding styles and abilities. This allowed all riders to enjoy the ride safely. In both rides, Group A began first, followed by Groups B, C, and D.
It's great to see our local bike shows and police officers along the way supporting the Century Ride. Aid stations served locally grown bananas, oranges, and sports drinks. After the ride, cyclists could relax at Kapiolani Park, enjoying hula and eating ono food served by community groups.
Is the Century a ride or a race? The Honolulu Century Ride is an untimed ride in which riders ride at their own pace. There are no official finishing places or times.
This gives riders new to Hawaii plenty of flexibility to enjoy the sights along the way. The pack at the front, however, had some great cyclists riding at near professional pace.
The aid stations were at the 25, 50, 75, and 100-mile points. The turnaround options were at Sandy Beach, Kailua Intermediate, the Key Project in Kahului, and Swansea Beach.
Most of the course was flat with a prevailing east or northeast wind that blows 5 to 15 miles per hour by the afternoon. These winds can be more of a challenge than the hills.
There were two course closure times. To ride 75 miles, you had to pass Kailua by 11 a.m. To ride 100 miles, you had to pass the Key Project by 10:30 a.m. If you arrived after these times, you were asked to turn back to the finish line for your own safety.
Friendship Ride leaders led groups of riders on whatever distance they were originally planning to ride. HBL provided Friendship Ride leader bibs, which identifies them as a group and ready to provide directions and otherwise help people.
Participants got Century Ride t-shirts, and you can see they wore them proudly. It was a great ride and a great experience for the participants.
It's been raining off and on. The rain isn't that bad.
We're representing Job Corps today.
200 people have finished so far, and they're undoubtedly the people who took the short rides, 25, 50 miles, because the 100-mile guys are not going to be here for a while.
We have a Japanese group, about maybe 40. They're running the Century Ride right now.
I'm here to support electric bikes and commuter bikes and folding bikes.
It's an electric bikes. We donated to the Century and Ono Ride today. And early in the morning, our mechanic came out, helped the rider replace the tube and adjust the brake, that kind of thing. Just supporting the bike community. A lot of military personnel, they're using it to commute instead of a second car.
Most of these are electric bikes, and people are saving over an hour in their commute. They have the bike lane in Eva, and the city is changing its ways, and the bike lanes are saving a lot of people a lot of time from being on the road.
Look at that lightweight bike. That is really light. That's 23 pounds.
I haven't ridden in years. I just decided on Friday to come down, no training.
Yeah.
Not the best decision, but I had fun.
I am wearing the vest because I am HBL staff. I don't know if
All right,
Yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah.
So what's happening here today? What's going on?
The Honolulu Century Ride, the 34th annual ride is going on today. We're also having for the first time the Ono Fun Ride, a shorter distance ride for, everybody. Come out and ride with us. We're always riding our bikes.
There's 600 to 700 Japanese riders out of 1,800. Yeah, so we don't know what the actual turnout was today. That was registered. Yeah, and obviously the weather wasn't perfect today. I mean, there's definitely been some nice moments though. So, and then the Ono Fun Ride she was mentioning, first time we're doing this, shorter distance, 18 miles here to Hawaii Kai. And that had nearly 200 riders. The weather could have been a little bit better, but I think it's been a great event. You know, I mean, a lot of people have had fun. You know, I think it gets better every year.
For the ladies, we have the skirts and we have unisex hats. Pink is a very bright color. I recommend it to everybody. And then we have a variety of shirts. We have I Bike Hawaii, which is a very popular one. Ride Aloha. And then we have some old shirts from past rides. We have a Haleiwa Century Ride, the Bike Month that happened just recently, all the jerseys from this year and beyond, and our most popular ones, the Dry Fit. See? Nice and soft, nice and soft. Nice and soft, nice and soft. And it breathes really well, as do most of these shirts, because we know that athletes wear these, so they have to be while they're riding, but also when they're training for rides like this. You know, stretching, yoga, running also helps endurance. So any athletes can do this, and I am a wife of a biker, and I love these. I do yoga with my husband, I go to the gym, and I like to show my support, and that's why I'm here. Like, if you don't ride, come and help out. Riding brings joy. It's just, when you're healthy, you're happy. It just goes together. And then if you have a cheeseburger in your hand, that's happy too.
This is an Air Force band, and they're good. They're also in Air Force fatigues. So sort of down-home uniforms.
You make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. Oh, too long, oh, too long.
Well, the people, we are here to represent our country, and that's what we're doing, and support this beautiful event today.
All right, thanks. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to the Air Force.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
I'm the audio engineer. I'm the guy who makes it really loud. Worldwide, the Air Force has several bands. We only have one station here on, we're over at Hickam. And yeah, we've got a group of 14 musicians, and there are 6 of us here today.
That's lovely. And you come out and play in the community.
Quite often in the community, we play for some military events. We play for troops deployed downrange. We basically play anywhere all over the world. We do some things for in other countries to kind of show what America's about.
Wonderful.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah. Beautiful.
All right, what do you think of the music?
Good. Very good. Very much.
Very good.
Yeah,
very good.
Great.
This was my first cycling experience.
Don't stop now.
I'm not. I'm kind of addicted right now. It was like, let's go further, but I didn't sign up for the.
Just volunteering here for the station. Yeah.
Well, you take a lot of breaks and hang out. You see everybody, talk story.
Shave ice.
Stations.
Kailua.
No, exactly. First time for me.
Second for me. I did the 100 last year, so.
Wow, okay.
We both do triathlons, so I'm part of Triple Fit. So shout out to Brian. Woo.
But yeah, we train for a good part of the year. We're actually just kind of getting it in the wind down season and kind of in between seasons. And then Waikiki Swim Club will start up in December. But I do ride a little bit to work as well. So I park my car halfway to work, and then I ride in the last several miles. So I get a little bit of exercise. So both these bikes are kind of more low middle end. So I'm not really too worried about it. But there were a lot of nice bikes out today. Saw a couple of super bikes, which you start getting into that $8,000 and $10,000. Oh, $8,000 bikes.
It's the rider, not the bike.
Absolutely. My takeaway would be eat well and play hard.
Every year we have some customer. Every year join this race, and then we like to see them again and again. But this year 75% is how do you say? First time. OC60, aloha.
It's a great event.
Okay.
And right, yeah. And I want to be part of it.
Aloha.
Waimanalo Canoe Club.
Yeah, okay.
We're doing working as a non-profit, working with Hawaii Bicycle League. We're very happy to be a part of this. Hopefully we can be here every year. And we want to support the Bicycle Centennial Ride. And we're trying to raise funds for our Keiki program so we can go out to Australia, hopefully for the World Sprints. And we have a bunch of kids that we actually have a lot more kids than adults in our program, so that's our main focus. We have a lot of our kids here and our volunteer, our kupunas, our parents,
Hi, you guys.
a lot of our head coach and all the staff. So we're really excited about what's happening today.
Okay, so what are you going to do after lunch?
After lunch, we're going to have chili and rice. Chili, rice, macaroni salad, and big scoop of best food mayonnaise.
Never eat on an empty stomach.
Never, never. You can make good decisions from there.
How many riders do you have here?
12.
12, excellent.
Yes.
Okay. How are they doing? Are you guys riders?
Yeah. Yes.
We did.
We all participate in the Ono Fun Ride this year.
Yeah, which one? Which ride do you go in?
Ono Fun Ride. The Ono Fun
Ono
Ride.
ride, 18 miles.
18 miles.
Actually, starting from 1977, we can operate from Taipei here. We never stop. So because Hawaii and Taiwan almost the same weather. Also like an island, it's just Taiwan Islands.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. So my question is, where were you guys in 1977?
Yeah.
ThinkTech Hawaii.
Oh.
Right, wow. Aloha Taiwan.
Yeah, thank you.
Aloha Taiwan. Beautiful.
OC16 and ThinkTech Hawaii, thanks for coming out. Really appreciate. Jay Fidel, an avid cyclist, and an avid cyclist continuing. Jay used to be on our board, and Jay used to ride 100 miles a week. So he's going to get back up to 100 miles a week.
I'm going to get back. You'll see.
Started by King Kamehameha III in 1836. We've been together almost 180 years. At the downtown, we play at Ilani Palace. We usually play on the outside grounds because the gazebo is very small and so not enough room to get everybody up there. But this is a nice big one here.
Visiting from Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great. Okay.
Hawaii is turning into a bike-safe place, so it's really anywhere. You can ride anywhere now.
You've noticed a change.
Yes. Oh, yes, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot of cheering, the camaraderie between everybody out here, the nationality as well. So many Japanese people, and it's you make friends. You talk to people. And it's a good time.
I did 50 miles.
Yeah. How was it?
It was raining. In the beginning, it was raining. It was wet. It was a wet ride all the way and all the way back. It's nice now.
You feel good?
For my age, yeah, I feel great.
So what'd you do, 50?
50, yeah.
How was it? You feel good?
It felt good. Well, I feel terrible right now, but that's a good thing. Yeah. A little bit. Not as much, not enough. Yeah. Next year I'm doing 100. What would I do differently? Well, I train more, first of all, and I think, man, I think I took it out too fast.
It was wet and windy and really good. You know, if you can do that, this one you can do just about anything.
Did you ride in a group?
No, solo. Did the 100 miles.
100 miles. You came in just now, then, huh?
Yes.
You must have been way ahead in the pack to do 100 miles this fast.
I was feeling pretty good. Yeah.
What is that average? That must average at 15, 20 miles an hour.
17.3 miles an hour.
That's outstanding. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Is this a record for you?
First time I've done it.
We need more bike lanes because riding is amazing for fitness and to just appreciate the beauty of this island.
Okay, rebuttal?
Keep the pedestrians and the bikers safe.
They changed. This is the...
Thank you. Yes, wonderful. Oh, fantastic.
Now, we're going to send you this... Excuse me, sir, you have a mirror on your eye.
Yes, but seriously, when you're riding down the road, stuff coming from behind you can be a big hazard. I spend about a third to half of my attention this way, because if I hear something that doesn't sound right, or if he even hears traffic, then I can see if the traffic is behaving normally. If it's not, I'm off the road. Well, the last 3 times I did 100.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But because of all the hot weather we had, I didn't get as much training in, so I decided instead of risking my life, I've got a 06 Dahon. It's a folding bicycle. It folds up, It'll fit in the back of almost any car, even the compact Prius, it'll fit in the back of that.
You could ride that speed, no problem. It's not a race, it's a ride.
Could the turnout at this 34th Century Ride represent a new level of interest in cycling in Honolulu, in green transportation and complete streets, a new time and a new and powerful statement calling for the humanization of our city?
The answer can only be a resounding yes. It's time for the cyclists of our city to take their rightful place on the roads of our city so that our city can realize its true destiny as one of the finest cycling cities in the world.
We have the weather, the topography, and we now obviously have the interest. Cycling is in perfect harmony with the millennials and the youth of our state. It is a great way to deal with and ameliorate our traffic congestions. It's also a perfect way to stay healthy, to stay in touch with like-minded people, and to build a new culture of outdoor health and connectivity.
Everybody should be riding bikes. The more people ride, as more people feel safe, others will ride. It's a pathway to a better city and a better quality of life for all of us.
The Century Ride is a great Honolulu tradition, now 34 years old and stronger than ever. It makes us come together as cyclists and citizens. It reinforces and is a public demonstration of our expectation and demand for a cycle-friendly city.
What's not to like about cycling in Honolulu? What's not to like about the Hawaii Bicycling League? And what's not to like about a wonderful event like the annual Century Ride? Indeed, HPL, a nonprofit Hawaii corporation, applies all the proceeds of the ride to make Hawaii's roads safer for everyone who uses them.
We can only say that whether you ride your bike or not, now is the time for you to support the Hawaii Bicycling League. Check it out at hbl.org. And now let's take a look at our ThinkTech calendar of events going forward.
ThinkTech broadcasts its talk shows live on the internet from noon to 5 p.m. on weekday afternoons, and then we broadcast our earlier shows all night long. If you missed a show or want to replay or share any show, they're all archived on demand on YouTube.
Visit thinktechhawaii.com for our weekly calendar and our live stream and YouTube links, or better yet, sign on to our email list and get the daily docket of our upcoming shows.
ThinkTech has a great new studio at Pioneer Plaza. We invite you to come down, see our studio, and be a part of our live audience. Contact Jay at thinktechhawaii.com. Be a part of our civic engagement on ThinkTech.
Go ahead, give us a thumbs up on YouTube or send us a tweet at ThinkTechHI. We want to know what you're thinking and how you feel about current issues and events affecting Hawaii. We want you to stay in touch with us, and we want to stay in touch with you. Let's think together.
ThinkTech will join the Anthology Marketing Group to present a program called The Arts in Hawaii at the Anthology Theater in Bishop Square.
The program will cover the state and prospects of the arts community in Hawaii, including music of all kinds, opera, dance, fine arts, and performing arts, and what we can do to make them stronger and more sustainable.
Join us and raise your awareness about the critical changes taking place in Hawaii. Be a part of the conversation and sign up to attend on thinktechhawaii.com.
And now, here's this week's ThinkTech commentary.
I am Richard Melendez, and this is The Thought Balloon on ThinkTech Hawaii. The Thought Balloon is where I share reviews and discuss all things related to comic books and graphic novels. Here at The Thought Balloon, I've spoken about comics that tackle philosophy, paternal relationships, identity politics, immigration, and war. And it's my hope that I've not only opened your eyes to the comics that exist outside of the realm of superheroes, but also that comics as an artistic medium is more than capable of tackling serious topics, whether as thinly veiled allegory or confronting it head-on. The language of comics is a powerful one. The marriage of words and images, when done well, serves to strengthen each other and raise the narrative to new heights. This is true in fictional works, and it's all the more true in works of nonfiction. Which brings me to today's topic, comics as journalism. Of all the forms of comics that exist, this is the one people seem the most surprised to hear about. A typical news organization has reporters on the front lines of a story. They're working with photographers and videographers to bring words and pictures together to tell a compelling narrative about the goings-on in our world. And the same applies to comics. Comics aren't limited to telling tales of the fantastic. Comics can tell emotional tales from everyday lives. Comics can teach. Comics can enlighten. And comics can open our eyes to what's going on around us. Perhaps one of the most well-known journalists in the realm of comics is Joe Sacco. And though he's had a long and prolific career, his two most popular works include his projects about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the Bosnian War. The former was collected in a volume called Palestine, and the latter as the graphic novel Saved Area Gorazdi, The War in Eastern Bosnia, 1992 through 1995. For both projects, Sacco was on the ground talking to people affected by these conflicts. He lived among them, he gained their trust, he reported on both sides of these complicated situations, providing the illustrations himself, thus giving us, the readers, a new perspective not seen in the mainstream media. But the realm of comics journalism is far wider than just Joe Sacco. There are numerous comics journalists and outlets operating today. Josh Neufeld produced AD New Orleans After the Deluge, about the impact of Hurricane Katrina upon the region. In this book, he recounts the stories of several residents during and after the storm. Patrick Chapette has produced investigative comics about gang violence in Central America and gave us a look into the slums of Nairobi. Matt Bors collaborated with a group of Haitian cartoonists and journalists to report on the devastation of the 2010 earthquake there. Symbolia magazine folded earlier this year, but they produced an e-magazine formatted for tablets. It contained in-depth stories about subjects like the Affordable Care Act, privatization of infrastructure, the safety net, and they even covered the arts and sciences. The blogging and social journalism platform known as Medium launched a side project called The Nib, which features news stories in comics form. Like Symbolia, these are mostly in-depth stories with topics of immediate relevancy, such as the stock market and politics. They approach these stories with the needed gravity and insight, yet in a visual format that's easy to digest. Illustrated Press is a multimedia company based out of Chicago that specializes in comics journalism and illustrated nonfiction, and have tackled topics like poverty, police brutality, gun violence, and education, subjects relevant to their immediate community and to the country at large. So as you can see, comics journalism is not a blip or a fad. It's a legitimate and well-formed field unto itself with a wide breadth of subject matter. And to be clear, this is journalism in its truest form. This isn't comedy or satire, nor are these single-panel political cartoons that are boiled down to a single punchline. This is investigative journalism, unflinchingly raw and hardcore, with no agenda other than to portray the truth. And though these stories are told in comics form, they're as well-researched, in-depth, moving, eye-opening, and thought-provoking as anything seen in the New York Times or on PBS's front line. Telling these stories in comics form does not lessen their value or make them any less serious. In fact, the words working in harmony with the images often makes the stories all the more real, powerful, and relatable. The pen is mightier than the sword, as the saying goes. A picture is worth 1,000 words, goes another. The one is about the power of the written word, the other is about the strength of an image. These two trains of thought are not at odds with each other. In fact, when words and pictures are used together, you've got something that's exponentially more powerful. You've got comics. Thank you for watching The Thought Balloon on ThinkTech Hawaii. I am Richard Melendez. Until next time.
We'll be right back to wrap up this week's edition of ThinkTech. But first, we want to thank our underwriters.
Okay, Noe, that wraps up this week's edition of ThinkTech. Remember, you can watch ThinkTech on OC16 several times every week. Can't get enough of it, just like Jay Fidel does. For additional times, check OC16.tv.
For lots more ThinkTech videos and for underwriting and sponsorship opportunities on ThinkTech on OC16, visit thinktechhawaii.com. Be a guest or volunteer, a producer or intern, and help us reach and have an impact on Hawaii.
Thanks so much for being a part of our ThinkTech family and for supporting our open discussion of tech, energy, diversification, and globalism in Hawaii. You can watch this show throughout the week and tune in next Sunday evening for our next important weekly episode. I'm Chris Leatham, and I'm the host of The Economy and You on ThinkTech broadcast series on Wednesdays from 2 to 3 p.m. Check it out on thinktechhawaii.com.
And I'm Noe Na'au. Aloha, everyone.